Ready Check Radio. What's up, Internet? Welcome back. It's time for another episode of Snowbound, the Blizzard podcast here on ReadyCheckRadio.com. Welcome. We're doing the show live. That means it's Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Mike Byrne, and this is episode number 20. We've got a little bit of World of Warcraft news, and we'll go through that, but, a little bit of a slower week on the WoW front, so we'll pick up the slack with some Hearthstone and some Overwatch chat as we get along through the show today. If you're watching on YouTube or over on ReadyCheckRadio.com or listening on Spotify, hit up the website, ReadyCheckRadio.com, RAIDEO. In the upper right, you'll see all the socials. Click on them, follow them, spread the word, get your friends there, and come on over to a live show. We've got chat hanging out with us, but we're ready to go. Joining me to talk all of the Blizzard news, Mr. Dom Greco, a.k.a. Zista. What's up, sir?
How's it going? How you doing today?
I'm good. Baby got card back. That's hot.
Yeah.
Get the newest Hearthstone card back because you gotta have them all.
I might have caved. I might have pre-ordered the pack.
Even though you said multiple times on this very show that this was probably going to be the first time you would not do that.
Probably. I will say I had a little pressure from my chat and a little incentive that they helped me out with to make that decision easier.
Peer pressure's a bitch, isn't it, Angela Mercurio, aka Indy?
What a weakling.
Right? He caved.
You'll never get a finite answer from Zista, by the way. So if you're ever looking for like a definite answer to any question ever, you're not going to get it.
No.
If you give me two options, I will find a way to incorporate both options. So yeah, that's even further not giving you a definite answer. It's like, would you rather have bacon or peanut butter and jelly? And I'd be like, yes, and I will put the bacon in the peanut butter and jelly. So
yeah, it also is not helpful when that happens during raids. It really isn't.
Would you like to?
Am I using my cooldown first, or are you? Yes. Wait, what? No. Am I using my cooldown first, or are you?
Yes.
What? No, Zista. No. Fuck it, I'm using mine first.
And then I just pull.
Then you just pull.
And then I just pull. I don't even wait for confirmation of clarification.
He's not even remotely a Demon Hunter tank, and he just pulls.
No. I've never been in Demon Hunter tank spec once in my life.
He's never tanked.
I did Demon Hunting tanking in Legion. I actually will probably boost or get my Demon Hunter from 50 to 60. I haven't played it at all yet, but it's kind of like, well, I would just tank with it, and I'm already tanking on Druid, so what's the point?
I think the last time I tanked seriously was Vanilla Naxxramas.
And I did not know you back then.
Yeah.
Few people did, because he was like 8.
I may have borrowed a warrior from one of our guildies, and I logged onto that account to
let me
to
borrow your character.
Were you really 8 years old?
No.
Okay. I was just thinking a little 8-year-old Zista trying to tank.
He still had the hat. The shirt wasn't blue yet. He wore other colors back then, but he did have the pink hat. I
think it's the same hat.
It probably is. Like it doesn't look like your head is grown now that I'm looking at the camera.
No.
You do kind of.
No, I don't have extras or anything.
I own one of those now.
You do.
I do.
You do.
I do.
So should we all wear one for one of our shows?
I lost a bet in one of our early shows, and so he mailed me one, and I had to do a show with it on. I think the bet was actually about Overwatch 2.
It was.
And ironically, we're going to talk quite a bit about that because a very dear friend of mine and I were talking. They were like, hey, how about some Overwatch chat? And I was like, oh, all right, I love you. That's fine. We can do some Overwatch chat. But first, let's get to the World of Warcraft news. Bananas is unlocked. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, go watch last week's show, pause this, come on back, then watch the rest. For those of you that do know what I'm talking about, the charity drive continues. We have passed the $500,000 mark for Doctors Without Borders. So Bananas is available for everybody. Did you guys go claim yours? Because this isn't a freebie that just gets mailed to you or put in your collection. This kind of bothers me, but you got to go to the in-game cash shop to make sure you claim this, which that's dumb.
It doesn't bother me, but I didn't claim it yet because I already had one. Because congratulations, Blizzard, you gave away something that already existed.
Oh, he's so mad. He's so mad.
I got him.
You're mad because I have Bananas now, and you wanted to be.
He's so cute.
Indy wanted to be the elitist banana in the group. The elitist banana in the bunch.
The elitist.
She's the elitist banana. Mine's the real banana. Yours is the fake charity banana.
Charity nanners. You know, everybody's just waiting for the sloth. So
yeah. Hitting 1 million is the target for the sloth. What are we at now? I think when I did the show notes, we were at like 675,000, something like that. Are we still right around in there? Anybody know?
I don't know.
Nobody know. Okay.
I'm not sure.
I mean, it's not like we're doing a show or anything.
But what I thought was interesting about Bananas is when I went to the store to claim him.
Yeah.
Right, they said something about him being like King Mookla's son. And I didn't know that. Like this is the tooltip in the game says young apes quickly learn to hang from branches with their feet, leaving both hands free to fling objects at interlopers. Like there was no mention that the Bananas was King Mookla's son prior to this. So like that is news to me. Found some
647,000. Sorry, I swapped a 7 and a 4. So we're getting there. But we got Bananas. Yeah. Tanker in chat. Tanker Bell, what's up? How are you? Very dear friend of mine. For a very long time, met online. Final Fantasy 14. Not the WoW bullshit, the real MMO stuff. Oh, I mean, no. I mean, WoW's a real MMO. WoW's a real MMO.
Whoa.
I'm kidding. I'm very much enjoying Shadowlands. Very much enjoying Shadowlands.
I just claimed my Bananas, by the way.
WoW will probably... No, I'm using probably again.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
WoW will probably be my last MMO ever.
Oh, I agree.
Probably.
Because it's going to last until our 60s.
Well, until his chat buys him something else.
That's not true. I believe that there have been games sent to him that he hasn't played.
That's always fun, by the way. Like, it's very awesome for people to send you free games. Like, even if it's like a $2 game.
Yeah.
But, God, it's never stuff you want. It's just...
No.
Yeah.
Never stuff you want.
Indy's hinting at the fact that I think she gifted me Fable forever ago, and I never got around to it. So
did I?
Yeah, I think that's.
I on the other hand, gift out good things, and then people don't play them. So,
if I gifted you the PC version, you should download that crap because it's not available anymore.
Yeah, I mean it's in my Steam account, I believe.
I got gifted. I used to do a stream. I think it was on Game Breaker actually, called Late Night Never Played, and it was just me clearing through my Steam backlog of shit that I never played, but I owned, whether it was like something I got in a Humble bundle and didn't even really know I had. Then it turned into people gifting me games to play, and that just got really bad real quick. Zista remembers the one where we were breeding unicorns or something. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, then it was the magical, the secret of magic Crystal Islands,
something like that. Yeah, and all we were trying to do was get the unicorns to bang.
I was also gifted that game, by the way.
And then I was also gifted the Political Machine, which was a political simulator game for the Mitch Romney Barack Obama campaign calendar.
Oh Lord!
So that was fun. And I was like, really, you know what? I feel bad that you spent $5. I'm going to send you $10 and not play it.
To not play it.
I played it, but yeah. Anyway, but World of Warcraft stuff. I'm actually really happy this week, gang. We, Zista and I, we have 2 heroic Sire Denathrius clears with the guild.
Listen.
Indy, do you still need the carry? Are you there yet?
I don't need a carry, but I need the kill.
You still need the kill?
I don't really have a steady raid group to raid with And that's probably why I kind of backed away from the game a tiny bit. Because if you're a person who pugs a lot, unless you have like the constitution of Zoval himself, you're not going to last very long in this game.
Yeah.
I will say, India, I know for sure early mornings, that Jose guy that you rated a while ago, he's still doing heroic runs, and they killed Denathrius a bunch of times. So.
Yeah. Early, but that's like 4 a.m. my time. That's a little too early.
Well, I mean, if you were hardcore, you'd do it. Like if you really wanted to see Daddy D.
Less hardcore. Oh. Well, speaking of him, I'm gonna be writing a little story about him.
No.
Ooh. Oh.
The artwork is done.
And I know the kind of stories that Indy writes. So yeah.
Can I read the Audible version? Like the
Yes. You can.
I'll give them all voices and everything. It's no problem.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I forgot to actually message that to you, but yeah, there it is.
Fantastic. Oh, see, I can't click that though, because
your
cameras will go haywire.
You can access it on your phone. That's my workaround while I'm streaming.
Or you just paste it into the bottom of the show notes, the document I'm looking at right now.
Or I could literally. Or I could do that. Yes. Because I was gonna say I could put it in my webcam.
Tanker Bell says that she's only here because she caught up on the podcast and thoroughly enjoying Indy. Still love you guys. Thanks, Indy. That's thanks, Tanker. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
I thought you were thanking me too.
No,
not at all.
No. Why would we do that?
While we're waiting for the copy paste here, I am pretty happy because it's there. We did get the 2 kills. Oh wow, that's beautiful actually.
Oh wow.
Do you want the little synopsis?
Well, hold on. I'm gonna. How do I do this? Let's
attempt to get that on screen.
I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna. How am I gonna do this?
Why did I just put it on the screen?
Yeah. Go put it on your screen, and I'll put the solo shot up for you. Yeah. So we shared artwork. I mean, this is not nearly as forward as the last Daddy D and Indy commissioned artwork we showed.
So the last one was Kael'thas, and that's a
it was.
Story.
I'm sorry. It was Kael'thas.
Mm-hmm.
This is a story. This is a story I've actually had brewing in my head for a while. And here I'll show it. Hopefully,
I can't imagine. I just can't imagine you've been thinking about this for a while.
You're putting a lot of trust in me. Let me do this for you.
Yeah, go ahead. Just throw it up there, and then I'll put your solo shot up as soon as I can see it
here. All right, hold on.
Maybe.
There it is.
There it is. That is Indy and Daddy D, and man, you're even making Ramorni a watch.
Okay, so
that's cold.
If you look really closely.
That's cold.
Really closely. I broke Ramornia. It's broken.
Is it broken?
And he's free. So the little synopsis to this says, saving the sire. When she took a shard from Ramornia the night she helped defeat him in the castle, she had no idea it would also be the key to freeing him from his unjust prison. And that's the way it is. That's the story. It's gonna be.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
It's gonna be elaborated.
And that's the way. I like it.
Such a good movie.
I can't wait. I'll do the audio.
I'll do
the Audible version when it's all put together. I'll do it. Absolutely. And it's a great way to stay in shape. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Blink.
I had to be really in shape to break him free from that.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Did you stretch first? That's all I want to know. You don't want to pull a hammy in the middle of things.
You need to be in tip-top shape for that one.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Tanks got buffed this week. I don't know if any of you care. Seems like
that is the best segue I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy about it. 10% less damage from all sources. Good thing you're not a tank, though, Dom, because you actually kind of got mathematically it ends up being 6 of one, half dozen the other, or pretty damn close. But you actually get a little bit of a magical damage nerf only because a bug was fixed for you stupid demon hunters, where the vengeance demon hunters were getting the demonic wards from both havoc and vengeance at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fixed, but yeah. I'm sure Scream is incredibly happy that I'll take 10% less damage right now.
Yeah.
Whatever helps tanks take less damage is good. Thumbs up.
Absolutely. Scream confirming. He's very happy that Katic and I will take 10% less damage from all sources.
He could barely contain himself.
Barely.
Oh my lord.
That's a druid joke. What else? I mean, the hotfix was pretty garbage, except for that. Yeah. But the hotfix did remove the soul ash cap, which I'm thinking that's actually a little surprising to see it go this fast.
Yeah,
I don't know. It really. I would have expected this to be either closer to 9.1 or just a cap raise, not a straight removal of the cap. Unless,
so are we gonna have to endlessly farm Torghast now?
Yeah, unless it kind of suggest that the progression, the grinding going forward is going to be the Valor points, and Soul Ash was just kind of this kickoff currency for the legendaries?
It may not even require currency. It may be like quest things, or like they could even lock it behind the mythic achievements if they wanted to. You know, like the whatever, you know, complete all the things on a 10 or a 15 or whatever. Like they could do that. Like we don't know what it's going to take to upgrade these legendaries moving forward, but it's probably not going to be Soul Ash. Maybe partially Soul Ash. Maybe like a split and like 50% Soul Ash, 50% something else. Who knows? But
well, I get the feeling. I don't think they're phasing it out. I think they'll use it for other things where they're not worried about time gating like they are with legendary progression. I think this is kind of a flag, though, Indy, that it's probably not going to be our legendary progression tool in 9.1, because they would time gate it like they did for 9.0. That's just the way the legendary and gear progression works in general through some type of time gate. Like the Valor stuff for Mythics going forward has the per week cap, stuff like that. Soul Ash with no cap now kind of screams this is a secondary currency that we'll use for, you know, maybe broker vendors and shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think, Indy?
You're probably right. I think they probably just did it because, you know, people like me who make multiple legendaries for multiple situations, it sucked to have to wait, like, and pick which one you want first, which one do you want second, which one do you want to upgrade first, because there was that cap.
Yeah, I also think, though, it's in a position where there's a lot of people that ran it, Zista, that are at cap. And now there is almost zero incentive for you to be in Torghast at that point besides helping a friend, you know, and at maybe helping a friend, when you can't even get the primary currency that the activity gives. But I just don't think that, I think if they were going to continue to use it for legendary progression and that was a concern, hey, we're seeing less Torghast completions, we're seeing less engagement with that piece of content. Maybe it's because nobody's getting the Soul Ash rewards if they're capped, and that's a bigger and bigger audience as each day goes by. I think you just raise the cap, though. Removing it means you can't go and put one back on later. People would lose their shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I get why it was there in the first place, because like you want to have that kind of artificial gating. If you intend to do it for upgrades in the future, you're not going to want people to bank a whole lot of it. The fact that we can only wear one of the legendaries at the moment, like it's been rumored that maybe we could wear two in the future, like that. I know that was data mined like early PTR of the expansion, like. But you know, so we haven't heard anything on that since, so we don't know if that's ever going to be the case, if they're ever going to change that or not. But like to be able to craft maybe one, upgrade it all the way, and then craft another one, upgrade that. But there's a lot of people that have already crafted like all their decent legendaries and capped them out, and they're still not doing Torghast. Or you just have Burn, who just won't do Torghast no matter what you do.
Legendary's 235. I'm done with the joint.
Yeah, but it's
I mean, unless it's on the
funsies.
podcast, then we'll do it, you know.
True.
Did you do Twisting Corridors at all? Not even.
I did the first layer. That was it.
There's so many more layers to do.
Yeah,
and,
in
like,
fact,
the
7.
I believe I
cool.
forced him through
in
that
fact,
one.
7. And no, it's not going to happen.
Can we do Twisting Corridors on one of our podcasts while we're doing it?
Do we want to really have a 2-hour podcast?
Yeah, the Twisting Corridors. It's a bit long.
Well,
for
we
the
don't.
podcast.
We could. How about we work our way through while we're shooting the shit before the show? I'm just trying to get you into Twisting Corridors. Don't worry
Well,
about me.
we could do layer 2. Yeah, actually, people did like when we did the, I don't want to do it every week where we're playing the game and doing the podcast, but it does work well when there's like very, very little news. So yes, we can do layer 2 of Torghast, Twisted Corridors as a show, and I'll take 10% less damage. Blank, you're right.
The funny thing was
like
when I went into Torghast with Burn to do Twisting Corridors, we forced him through layer 1. He went through layer 1, he did the quest, killed the first boss, and then left. And then he went back in, and I think he was doing the first boss again, and then he didn't even want to do the whole place.
No.
Like he was just going in to the bare minimum of what he had to do. I'm not making puns again.
No,
minimum.
You're absolutely right. I was just
Bare.
like, I got the thing that I got to go take back to Bolvar. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. I don't have to finish this.
But then we took him through with like a guild group and forced him to finish it.
Yeah. A lot of fun. 18 fucking floors.
And then you kill the broker on.
It wasn't me. That was not me.
I heard that was somebody else.
That was not me.
It actually wasn't me in that group either.
I don't like Torghast, but that doesn't mean I'm going to make it harder for myself just by exacting a little revenge on a broker.
That's like an old school Ulduar. You would initiate hard mode by doing something in a fight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I miss those days.
Or not doing something, yeah. Like you don't take don't take out the towers for the first one. Hit the red button, all those ones. Anybody here use game time cards? This probably isn't the game time card audience. We're probably all, suckers and gave Blizz our credit cards, right?
I may have used one in the history of my subscription ever, but
I'm a 6-monther.
Yeah, same.
Well, game time cards are having a change made to them. Missy uses them. Uh-oh. Well, I don't think this is a huge deal for Missy, but game time cards are now no longer coming in any increments except for 60 days. 60-day increments.
That's no biggie.
So
I think people
you won't be able to get the $15 30-day one anymore. You'll be getting just the $30 60-day one from here on out.
So it's cheaper.
Well, when this when this news was first posted, I believe the wording was not clarified enough, and people were freaking out.
The original
subscriptions were
in the forums. It was fine. It was worded exactly the way it should have been. It was very clear that this did not impact credit card subscriptions. This did not impact the WoW token. This only impacted the game time cards. But of course, in the thread, 900 times, people were like, oh my God, I can't sub for 1 month anymore. To which the dev team had to answer 4 or 5 different times, quoting themselves, saying, no, this doesn't impact credit card subscription options. This does not impact WoW token. This is only the game time card. Whole milk, absolutely. Media wanted their clickbait, so they, truncated the headline a bit in some places. Yeah, go ahead, Indy.
That's so dumb. Game time does not equal subscription. So people are freaking out over this. If you're telling me it's cheaper, they should be like grateful. Get $5 off a month, right? Versus the monthly one.
Well, what is even the point of this? Like, what's the purpose of this change? What does this benefit? Like,
well, they do produce these physically too. So there is that, and so I can't really. This really doesn't bother me personally. A lot of people were like, "This is Blizzard being greedy." To the people that aren't going to give them a credit card now, you're going to have to shell out $30 for 2 months instead of $15 per month. Twice. Or whatever. $60 is $29.99, which is equal to 2 from before. Yeah, it's a wash.
A bonus.
No, it's a wash.
Mm-hmm. It's the same.
Yeah, it's $15 a month. But
I was thinking, 90 days.
Now your customers don't. Final Fantasy has never had anything besides the 60-day game card.
Yeah,
that was it. That's all they've ever had for that.
I wonder if it has to do with like drops in subscribers periodically. Because if you think about it, as a Twitch streamer, your subscriptions default to 30 days, right? And we see our subscriptions go up here and then way down there and then back up. And then, so maybe having a 60-day game token for non-subscribers.
Careful. Game time.
What?
Not token. It does not impact the WoW token.
I'm sorry. Phrasing. I'm sorry, tokens. So, but maybe having this simplifies it and, I don't know, benefits. It has to benefit them in some way. I don't care because I'm a 6-month fangirl who will never. I'm going down with the ship.
It's basically just impossible, Zista, for a lot of people not to look at this and go, "This is ActiBliz being greedy," because the content, the spaces in between content patches is rather significant at the moment. May, with COVID and with layoffs and with this and switching focuses and whatever, the content droughts may start to get a little bit bigger. And if we could just force you to pay for 2 months instead of 1, it really, you're less likely to not buy that second one because there's not going to be a patch for 3 more months. It's hard not whether or not that factors into it for their thinking, we don't know, but it's hard not to look at with just the optics that Blizz has been under for years now, that this is a greedy corporate Bobby Kotick type situation. And maybe it is, but it also maybe it isn't. They both can be true at the same time.
Yeah, I'd be really interested to see like the analytics of people who purchase game time, like how much of it reoccurring game time purchasers, that kind of stuff. Because I don't realistically see many people buying it. I'm thinking maybe this had something to do with like exploits and stuff, or like those scams for I have no idea. But
well, I mean, there's a portion of the audience that does, right? That would be, or let's just say some of the more nefarious accounts, right, that don't want to volunteer personal information because the accounts aren't being used for, let's say, legitimate purposes, right?
Oh,
that's a game time card buyer right there.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, so that's another consideration too. And on the flip side, then you have just the general audience that doesn't like giving companies their credit cards. I agree with you, Zista. It's probably a very, minute portion of the player base. But I could definitely see this also as an RMT play in some way, shape, or form. How big or small, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they're not just physical cards though, right? They're also in the game shop.
Yeah. You could buy the digital code and just throw it on there too.
Yeah, because Whole Milk says in chat that also less people will be going out to buy physical game time cards during lockdowns. But that's not the only factor.
Yeah, you just go to Amazon and buy it right now. They'll email you the code.
If it was just a physical thing, like I would understand that, not wanting to print out so many different variants of the same thing over and over again. So,
another WoW news. Wowhead has actually been tracking the Covenant choices we've been making since launch, and they've released 2 different reports. One was a little bit back. So we had the actual, pre-Castle Nathria, like when everything went live, December 7th, post-Nathria launch in February, and now patch 9.05. Now, we're not going to go through the stats, right? It is broken down by class. It is broken down by spec in those classes and the population flow up or down percentage-wise between the 4 covenants. Now, what I wanted to point out here, check out the article on Wowhead. It's a great article. It's very interesting, like to look up yours and see where you fit on the chart, and are you in the majority or the minority or whatever within your class and your spec. What I wanted to bring it up here for real quick is just to get the pulse of the situation, because I remember Blizzard trying to sell covenants way back when, and this being you can choose one and it's not going to be terribly easy to switch. So really do a little research, but you can't screw up. Pick the ones you like, pick the story you like, the characters you like, the environment you like. That's fine. There's not going to be a truly you have to have this covenant if you are this spec. That's not what we're going for. We're going for something a little more open and you can play with. go look at the data. That has not happened. Surprise, surprise. It has turned into a min-max thing. There are clear winners and clear losers for covenants based on your spec and your class. Is that okay by you, or does this need to change in some way when we get this kind of, all the covenants coming together in 9.1 and us being able to interact with all of them in some way? What do you think, Indy?
Well, personally speaking, I'm super happy because according to this, the Venthyr are still ruling over the healing priests, actually gaining with the holy priest. So that's yay.
Yeah, but mine not so much.
But here's the thing. For me, even if Venthyr was not BIS for my class and spec, I would still play it because that is my favorite zone. That's my favorite covenant to quest for, to go out and grind anima for. So it wouldn't change anything for me personally, but I do understand how frustrating it can be for end game players who are pushing mythic content and every little bit matters. And for this to be such a huge thing that you might have to pick something you don't even enjoy just for sake of your Mythic Plus or Mythic Raid. Yeah, I can see that it's a disappointment because when all of this was being brought to us as an idea or, concept, it was more of just kind of like a vanity thing, I think. I thought it was going to be like a vanity thing, like your mount, your armor set, but it's become so much more with these abilities. Yep. Is there a way to change it at this point? Probably not without pissing a lot of people off. Right? Like how would they negate that?
Yeah. The druids, by the way, are skewing wildly Night Fae, which is pretty predictable, but the percentages are just staggering. Like they're in the 90, 72, 86, and 91% for the four different druid specs. I am part of the 5.6% Guardian Druid Venthyrs. I just wanted to be a Guardian Druid Bear vampire tank.
I mean, dare to be different, though.
I know.
No, druids get their own forms, don't they, or no? Like, do you get vampire forms? Do you get to turn into a werebear?
I wish. That'd be sweet.
A werebear.
No, I thought that stuff was coming. Maybe not.
Werebear.
Yeah, but no, I don't know. Like, I'm in the same camp with Indy, where it's like if you change too much, you're gonna piss too many people off. At the same time, like I fully went in expecting this. This is something I had talked about a lot before we were even doing this podcast, where I'm like, you're gonna min max covenants. Like that doesn't matter, even if you made it so it's like a 1% difference in something or a 0.1% difference. People are gonna jump on it just for that little bit of extra. It just so happened that for DPS demon hunters, the vampires were the way to go. That's just the way I went. So I'm in the same boat as Indy. I identify as a vampire. I'm going to be a vampire. Like no way, shape, or form are you going to get me to be a Night Fae, which is what a lot of the demon hunters are going right now.
Nor I, my friend.
Welcome to my boat.
Nor I.
Hope you brought a life vest.
WoW Classic Beta updated to level 68. Last week it was 64. This week it's 68. That's pretty quick. That's a 1 week turnaround.
Are any of us in?
I have not. Have you used this now?
Same.
No.
I'll check.
No,
I probably will check it out at launch just because that was when I started playing. The Burning Crusade. So
the only way that Blizzard is getting me to log on is if this Void Walker or Warp Stalker mount promotion that they have has something to do with me playing or leveling or something, like then I'll have to do it. But other than that, they're not getting me in there.
So we went from this no beta to 64 to 68 within about 10 days here. We got 2 more levels to cap off and the initial end game splash of content when that level 70 stuff is open. I mean, launch can't be that far away, right, Indy? It's got to be They're just trucking right through this beta real quick here.
Yeah. And honestly, I would be playing it if it were available to me because this is one of my favorite expansions. I'm excited for it, and I will be playing on launch.
Do you have a classic that you're max leveled? I don't remember.
So yes, I do have my classic priest, but it's not a belf, so I'm gonna be forced.
Yeah, you gotta start.
I gotta be my character that I was.
Be the best Belf you can be.
Can be the very best.
The very best Belf you can be. And then polishing off the World of Warcraft news, the Pet Battles is the event for this week again. PvP Brawl comes around. It's classic Ashran in tug of war formation. And Chris Metzen and team have a what is this stuff? Like they're doing D&D now. Like we knew they split off and they made their own company. You know, Chris Metzen and Mike Gilmartin and a few others. They Ryan Collins. They went and made their own company, and we didn't really know what they were going to do yet. And it appears they're going to kick it off with a D&D campaign.
Yeah. Ouroboros, Coils of the Serpent.
I already signed up.
I looked into it a little bit. It looks really cool with like something to do with like the tattoos, giving power, something like that. And I'm not big into D&D. I've played maybe one campaign ever, but like I'm still really fascinated by it just because I haven't played it personally. It's me personally. I played an online session. I had a really bad experience with the people I played with, and it kind of turned me off from the whole game. So I have nothing against D&D. It's just at the moment it's not really for me. But it's still very fascinating.
I gotta ask this. So, and far be it from me to like spend other people's money, right? It's a source book. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and granted, you know, there's a lot of work that goes into that, making that type of the art. Obviously, Metzen's art has always been pretty fantastic.
It's gorgeous.
And all that stuff. But as far as funding a project, this is not, hey, we need $10 million to start the generation of our next MMO that our company wants to make. And then we're going to need new funding down the road. Like, you would... I don't know. It just kind of feels icky a little bit to me that people that are probably, and again, I don't know them personally, probably in a financial position where they could start the business and then recoup the money like you normally start a business, are opting to Kickstarter this instead. It's just kind of like, well, why put our money out there if we can get other people to put their money out there? I
don't think it's about that. I think Kickstarter and crowdfunding is a great way to gauge interest.
Yeah.
To kind of see.
Yeah, by gathering the dollars.
Yeah. You know what? I'm a Metzen fan. I'm not.
And don't get me wrong. I'll buy the damn thing. I'm gonna buy the damn thing.
I'm already sold.
Yeah, I'm not gonna kickstart it. I'm not gonna kickstart it because I know people that have like sought donations to help run their business, and I'm like, that's not how you run a business. You know, you don't solicit donations to expand your business. That is just, your expansion is going to fail. I can already tell you that. So this kind of like, I love you, Metzen. I love your art. I'm totally going to buy the damn thing. I don't know the last time I played D&D. I've had tabletop campaigns and other games lately, but not D&D. I don't care. I'm buying the damn thing. I just was like, why are you kickstarting this? Are you that unsure about it? I know you're not that unsure about it.
I'm not too familiar with the way that like the D&D books and like the campaign all work. Is this like an official thing, or is this just like, are people allowed to make their own source books without D&D's like approval?
Oh yeah, there's a whole Destiny 2 campaign that was released that, you know, because of the way they've open sourced the D&D stuff, you're able to do that stuff. You forgot it's podcast night. Well, damn it, welcome. We're only halfway through the shenanigans, so you got plenty of time. I wish them good luck. I just thought Kickstarter. No, I can't do it. Yeah. But I will buy it. I will 100% buy it. You missed Daddy D.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
All right. Let's get over to some other Blizzard stuff here. Let's talk Overwatch 1 just for a minute, just for a moment, and I'm sure we'll mention it in a little bit in context of some other discussion here as well. But in the news front on Overwatch, Blizzard, they decided, you know what, we ain't making those League MVP skins anymore. Now this this hasn't really been something that's been around all that long to begin with. Like this started in 2019, I think, Zista. So they've only done it for like 2 seasons.
Is it 2019? Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they're going away.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
There was a lot of controversy with one of the previous MVPs. I'm really bad at names, so let me.
You talking about Jay Sinatra Wan?
Yes. He had some claims from his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, I should say, of sexual and emotional abuse, which Blizzard is not tolerating in any capacity, and I give them a lot of props for that. I know this is always like a really weird issue with people online of you have the whole campaign of, like, do you take action before anything is proven, or do you just side blindly with the woman, in this situation, the woman? It For me, I think Blizzard is absolutely doing the proper thing here, where if you want to keep the skin, you can keep the skin. If you do not condone or want anything that is done in with this situation, if you want to wipe your hands of this whole thing, you can issue for a refund, you'll get the skin taken away, you'll get the points put back. Like, it's a win-win for both camps in this side of the fence. It's kind of like taking a neutral stance, but also taking her side, in a way. They're completely abolishing all mention of him. They're taking the Overwatch League stuff off the skin, anything associated with his name off the skin in a future upcoming patch when they do finally remove it. So it'll basically just go to being a regular skin after this. So the removal of these,
but they haven't specifically said like this is why we're not doing these skins anymore. This is just kind of like speculation on why they might be doing this, because the skins involve specific players, and then moving forward, they don't want to, like, 10 years from now, there are 11 of these in the game, and they got to go back to year 3 because a huge news story blew up with year 3's MVP.
Exactly.
I don't know, Indy. While I can certainly say, hey, that may be it, I just see Activision Blizzard shrinking away from esports all over the place in the last 2 years. Well, a little more than that, actually. It's kind of started with, Heroes of the Storm and the Dorm championships and stuff going away, and then it slowly leaked into Hearthstone, and then leaked into StarCraft, and leaked into Overwatch. And then we have more layoffs this year. We talked about a few shows ago. I think anything that causes an expense right now of really any type that is superfluous in the esports scene, Blizzard is just not inclined to do it right now.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at chat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jason in chat, Mr. Jason Winters. But I think I made just a choke on his water. I was legitimately taking a sip of water and I almost choked. He said, "Bold of you to think Overwatch League lasts 11 years." Yeah.
What did you think, Indy? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, about this?
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me, but I feel like, if it is have like the underlying issue is because of this J dude, maybe vet your players a little bit more, like, before you go ahead and throw all of that money and development into.
No, because then you're talking about, like, I don't know. That starts to open a huge can of worms, right? Like, then you start before you join our league. Maybe the NFL should do that too, right?
but to be honest with you, some of the groups, some of the Blizzard groups that I'm a member of, they literally go back years and years of my tweets and my live streams, and like they check you out to make sure you're not a piece of shit.
Yeah, but if all this stuff is happening in person and not online,
that's true.
There's no way to vet it.
Yeah, nobody knows what I do, when the camera's off.
Yeah, so like it's really hard to vet something like that. Whoa.
She's like, wait, right? Like, if anybody does, raise your hand right now.
It's really hard to fly And you
it's
know
really
what?
hard
If
to
I
vet
had a
something like
Daddy
that,
D
though.
pillow scream, if I had a Daddy D, that would not be hurting anyone.
But and like you have to worry about the chance of like something that may happen in the future too. It's not necessarily something that's happening in the past. Anything in the future that happens, and then like Mike said, you have to worry about
What's he got there?
having
He's got,
all
is
these
that a
skins getting
Sharpie?
taken off.
Oh, it's a
So
pen.
yeah, but you have to worry about them removing all these skins, and it's just like that's
I
a lot of
know.
extra work. And I
I
feel like
know.
it's kind of I feel like it's kind of cool to get be honored with one of these when you're the MVP of the league, and you have some kind of recognition in there.
Yep.
And like I liked that. I thought that was really cool of them to do and put all this
I
stuff
thought
in.
so
But
too.
I think part of it is future proofing it, and that is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate.
Daddy D pillows. Christ, we just lost control. Did we ever really have it? I mean, that's I think the question.
Not
Did
today.
we ever
No.
really have it?
Never.
Hey, so Hearthstone has had a pretty busy week. We haven't gotten to talk about the damn game for a while, besides bashing the initial implementation of the whole progression chain, which anecdotal, right? But most of the evidence online from people that have been willing to give it another shot after a few revamps are saying it is headed in the right direction. So kudos where due. But Forged in the Barrens, the actual expansion itself, is live as of today. 135 new cards, the new Frenzy keyword, new rank spells, legendary mercenary minions, and a ton more. But this is just the cards themselves, right? Because there's been stuff that came out today, but also some stuff that's come out over the last few days, like Hearthstone Classic. So let's start there. Indy, have you played? You were excited about this. Have you tried it yet?
No, but I will. I promise.
You were super pumped for Hearthstone Classic.
I was. I am. I just need a little break. I haven't even streamed in a hot minute. I needed a little breather.
A little breather.
I mean, the weather is getting nice out, so I don't blame you.
A little
it's been
breather.
Really nice. Yep.
So what do you got? We got Frenzy. That's the keyword. Triggers a powerful effect the first time the character that has it survives damage. So I would assume we're going to see a lot of using our own abilities, our own hero abilities, and using odds and end cards here and there to damage our own frenzied targets here, Zista. So that we can get those pops
I haven't had
quickly.
any experience. I haven't had any experience with Frenzy in the standard format yet, but they did add one card of Frenzy into the battlegrounds. Seems like it's a little underpowered at the moment, but maybe I've just been playing it wrong.
How is this different from like an Enrage?
Yeah, Enrage.
I'm just asking. Like I don't.
Enrages when they take damage one time. Frenzies every single time they survive damage.
Oh, so like stacks.
Yeah. So like for example, there's a card in the battleground.
No, I don't think that's right. I think Frenzy is only the first time they survive damage.
Is it?
I think so.
I don't know though, because the way it's phrased, like the Octobot says Frenzy, reduce the cost of cards in your hand by 1 in parentheses. And it doesn't, I mean, like theoretically speaking, the thing's got 4 hit points, so it probably would trigger each time it takes damage, right?
No, so here we go. So the Frenzy is the first time they survive damage. Boom. Bonus. In Rage, they only have that effect while damaged. So if they're ever healed or there's a forced resetting of their health or whatever, the Enrage effect goes away.
Thank you.
Gotcha. See, for me, it's a little different because in the battlegrounds, every single turn, everything like resets. So like you can repeatedly get frenzies every single time you're playing, as opposed to if you're playing constructed, that frenzy is probably going to go off one time ever. So yeah, it's a little different. But for battlegrounds, I've had that experience with one card. It's a tier 3 minion called the Baron something. And I don't find it very useful. I don't know. I'm bad with names.
I'm sorry. What was the name of that card again? I'm taking notes here. What was the
Baron
something? The Baron's something.
Baron Berserker. Okay. something like that.
Gonna get right up
Baron
on that
something,
one.
That's the name.
Baron Vagabond in our chat. What? Wait.
Nope.
What? Now our chat is Hearthstone cards. What else do we got in there? We've got whoops, I accidentally hit the wrong link here.
The Baron's Blacksmith.
Yeah.
That's its name.
Yeah. What the hell's that do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the card. The
Oh,
Baron.
I have to
Baron's
keep my mouth shut for this one.
Why do you have to
Baron's
keep your mouth
Blacksmith,
shut?
The frenzy.
like
Give your other minions +2/+2. So.
I was jumping ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, got you.
I'm gonna zip it.
Yeah. Ranked spells, new spells get more powerful at 5 and 10 mana crystals, whether it's in your hand, in your deck, or in your deck. Legendary mercenaries. Twitch drops, of course, big part of this. They pretty much always are. Then there's more expansions and seasonal events coming up. So get your Twitch drops, link your stuff up. Have you done any of like the new content that has been spilling out over the last few days? Just whether it be the classic modes or whether it be the duels or any of that type of stuff.
I pretty much exclusively play Battlegrounds. So what I will say is, new Tavern Pass has started.
Yeah, what's your initial feedback?
I played about 3 games today, and I'm level 17.
Wow.
So, yeah. So the levels are kind of small as long as you're doing like.
Well, they said it's the same amount of experience, right? It's just overall, it's just more levels.
Yeah.
So that you get that endorphin rush more.
Yeah. So the levels are flying through. I think the first quest that I completed was in my first Battlegrounds match, and I think I got 7 or 8 levels off of that one quest. So possibly even more. It might have been 9. But yeah, so the levels are flying through. I did decide that I was going to buy the Tavern Pass again.
You broke down. You broke down.
Well, the Tavern Pass, I was never against buying the Tavern Pass. I just wish you could buy the Tavern Pass with gold instead of having to pay real money for the Tavern Pass. The Battlegrounds Pass, I did buy that with gold because they allow you to do that. But like my one gripe is, so you have the
just the one,
bundles,
right? Everything else is perfect. This is, you just get the one gripe, Zista. I hope you know that going in.
This is my one gripe.
Okay.
Just the one. When you're pre-ordering the expansions, right? You have the smaller bundle, like the $50 bundle that includes the card pack, or card packs, the card back, and I think that's it. Then you have another bundle that's $20 more than that, right? And it comes with like a hero, and it comes with the Battleground perks.
Right.
Battleground perks are something you could buy with in-game gold. Why not include the Tavern Pass with that instead? Like, if that was the case, if they included the Tavern Pass with the bigger bundle, I would have just bought the bigger bundle. But the Battlegrounds Pass, I'm not going to buy. Like, I'm not spending that extra money to buy something that I could buy with gold. So
Jason Winters already said it in chat, but we're going to cover it here next, is that there does seem to be some issues connecting to Hearthstone. And in particular, we're seeing a lot of queuing for games issues. Now, Blizzard is aware that there is a bug preventing queuing for ranked, standard, or wild. They're working to get it fixed ASAP, but some people are saying that they believe this is actually caused by Golden Core set cards in your deck. And that if you take those out, you won't have a problem queuing. And if you still have a problem queuing, it's because your opponent had Golden Core set cards in their deck. Yes? Yes?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Small.
I have a bunch of golden
developer
cards.
Yeah, Golden Core sets, not Golden Corset.
No.
Oh.
We're not talking about Jaina's golden undies. Jason should be on the show. He knows more of the characters than Zista does. And before we talk a little bit of Overwatch 2.
With the stripe in her hair, right?
Right. She's the one that does the magic, right? Yes. That's her. She's always freezing the shit. Activision Blizzard hired a former Trump administration member once decried as bully, says the headline on Kotaku, because that's not clickbaity or anything. But in this case, it's pretty much also factual and clickbaity. Blizzard Chief Commercial Officer was promoted, and the Chief Operating Officer, Armin Zerza, to CFO, promoted to the CFO of the whole company. What it did not announce to the public as a result of that promotion, though, is that they also hired a new Chief Administrative Officer, former Donald Trump administration member Brian Bulatao. Worked at the State Department, right? Yeah, under Mr. Pompeo. And Bobby Kotick had all kinds of great things to say about this person. All kinds of great things. Update from this afternoon. In a statement emailed to Kotaku, an Activision spokesperson added that Brian's unparalleled success in the business world and distinguished career as an infantry captain in the U.S. Army made him an excellent addition to our leadership team. And then when it comes to veterans, we recognize and appreciate the expertise and rigor they bring to everything they do, because Bobby Kotick, in the email to the company, touted his military record, his West Point. I like this little thing, this little nugget, too, hidden at the end of this. Last paragraph. Activision Blizzard's hiring of Bulatao follows an early March announcement that the company had brought on Francis F. Townsend, a former George W. Bush-era counterterrorism appointee and torture apologist, as its head of compliance. Bulatao, and who Kotick commended in his email for his newfound commitment to epic entertainment, will at least find himself in familiar company, end quote from Kotaku. Look.
Why do we need to fill Blizzard with politicians? Why?
Well, why do you need to fill any corporation with politicians, right? No, I totally agree with you, but it's... Look, I'm not one of those, like, you can't do something wrong in your past and not redeem yourself or do something better or aspire to be better people, right? You can make a mistake. However, there comes a point in my book where you're not making mistakes. You're purposely on a course for a particular type of behavior. And if I'm running a company, I might think you have the ultimate business acumen and you would be great for what my company needs right at that moment. But we all go to job interviews and get hired or don't get hired for particular reasons. And most of the time, they're not just because somebody didn't like you. They're because you weren't a fit. You might have had the experience, but you weren't a fit in some other reason. If these people are being hired, the higher-ups think they're a fit. And that scares me. That scares me. Go ahead, Indy.
Not saying nothing.
No, you go. You're fine. Go for it.
It's really disappointing.
It is. It is.
Because like I said earlier in the show, I am a Blizzard fangirl. I'm going down with the ship. But this is just really disappointing to see. Because what this is now is amounting to a bunch of corporate cronies inviting their buddies onto the, you come on board, we're having a good quarter or whatever, and they just laid off a bunch of employees, and now they're bringing these shitheads in. I don't like it. I don't like it, but I'm still on the ship, unfortunately.
I mean, you could still be a fan of Blizzard without supporting Activision or condoning Activision's work in it.
Yeah, I was going to say you have no choice but to support Activision. Yeah. Condoning is a different, yes. Okay, yeah. Glad you changed your wording on that one, because
clarified my wording. Yeah.
$15 a month does in fact support them.
Yeah.
And I don't even think this. For me at least, this doesn't really like fall into the realm of politics. Like, your personal politics and your personal business can and very often are two totally different things. And I'm willing to say maybe that's the case for these people, and let's set your politics aside, whether they agree with me or they don't agree with me. But when you're just a shitty person and you get put in charge of other people and you have a history of bullying other people and abusing that power scenario, you shouldn't be in power scenarios anymore. That's where I kind of lose this one, Zista. Throw the politics out of it for me. When you have a history of abusing power situations, 100%. You should not be in a power situation in a company that right now has a power situation problem and optics issue.
Like you said, the headline is clickbait because former Trump administration.
Yeah.
Like that's the clickbait part.
Yeah.
But the whole bullying part, like
factually
totally on board
correct.
With that. You have,
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
Burn for president.
Yeah.
What would your first order of business be?
Yeah. Get the strippers! Get them in here! We won! We won, bitch!
Meanwhile, all the photographers will be surrounding the White House. They'll be like, stripper poles are being brought in for the first time in the history of the nation.
You ever see Resident Evil, all those poles in the bundle on the train at the end of the movie? They're going to be using that to truck all the poles in. Anyway, let's talk Overwatch 2 before we go.
Okay.
We won, bitch! Where's the strippers?
Burns' first rule as president is abolish politicians.
This is my executive order. Am I allowed to sign an EA to fire Bobby Kotick? I don't think that I'm allowed to do this, but let's try. Let's try. Okay, so Overwatch 2, right? We've been talking about it since last year. Some of us speculated we might get a beta around this time of year. Obviously, that's not going to happen now. If we get a beta at all this year, it'll be very late in the year, since we've already seen that the outlook for 2021 does not include either Overwatch 2 or Diablo 4. We talked about that when Blizzard had its investors call. But so here's the deal. And let's pretend for a moment, Indy and Zista, that I am a Overwatch neophyte, right? Let's pretend I don't know a lot about Overwatch. I mean, we're going to have to stretch here.
Wait, where are we pretending?
We're going to have to stretch.
What part of this is pretending?
We're going to have to stretch here and pretend that I don't know a whole lot about Overwatch. I play Overwatch super casually. Like, when my kids get the bug up their ass to play it nonstop for 3 weeks, I'm playing, and then they don't play it anymore, so I don't play it anymore. But there's a reason that I don't play Overwatch, and that's because it is strictly a PvP game. I'm actually interested in Overwatch 2 because there is finally that PvE element. I think the Overwatch characters are interesting. I think the lore and the story is interesting. I don't get any of that when I'm going in there to protect the point. But I am going to get that in Overwatch 2 to a certain degree. Like, is this really a 2 sequel? Is it an expansion? Like, what is going on here? At least they were smart, and I know they're not pulling the Destiny 2 thing where you lost all your vault and your cosmetics. I know they're bringing that over. But am I going to be interested in this if that's the experience I'm looking for? Is this a true sequel? Are they just expanding it and adding maps? Help me out here. Help me out here, you two.
I hope so.
Help me out.
So what I always wished for Overwatch was that it had that PvE mode.
Yeah.
You know, like where you could go through and do like a tactical mission with a couple of your friends and hit checkpoints like you did like old school Tom Clancy FPS games.
Yeah.
Oh, what Tom Clancy FPS games you into, Indy?
I used to play oh my god, my brain. You know what I mean.
My
first one. Rainbow Six.
Yeah, man.
Rainbow Six.
Rainbow Six Vegas 2 is the shit. That is.
And I used to enjoy both modes of those games.
Okay, sorry. Overwatch 2.
Overwatch 2, if we're going to get the same kind of modes, absolutely, I'll enjoy that.
Zista, is that what we're going to get?
I mean, we're definitely getting a lot of single. When I say single player, I don't actually mean single player. I mean story missions.
Yeah, because they are doing like the hero mission PvE stuff, and that is group stuff, but in a PvE scenario, not a PvP scenario. And so it's based. I'm going to get Overwatch Dungeons, right? Is that it?
Kind of. And I hate to use this comparison because I'm instantly going to turn you off on it. But think of like the hero missions in Avengers. You know, like.
I'm sorry. The music's playing. We're done.
Goodbye, world.
You compared it to Avengers. The show's over. The show's over.
That's a showstopper.
That's a showstopper. I'm out.
I knew it was gonna be the wrong comparison, but I had to make it.
Oh shit.
But it is like you have these big epic battles that you go through and you do like you have objectives you go through. Sometimes you have a time limit, sometimes you won't, whatever. But a lot of it is going to be the leveling up your characters and stuff. So like I said, it's a lot kind of like what Avengers is unfortunately for Burn, but that's the best comparison I have.
Here's where this kind of loses me a little bit though. And again, I'm not following this religiously like Overwatch players who are pumped for Overwatch 2. I'm peripherally excited about it because I think it offers more to what I was looking for and didn't get in Overwatch 1. Cool. So, I'm watching. But I know like all your skins and stuff are going to go over, which is I was like, great, fantastic. Don't pull the Bungie Destiny to Destiny 2 thing. You didn't do that. Good. I know that PvP is going to be fully crossplay. So if I own just Overwatch 1, it doesn't matter. I can still play with the Overwatch 1 and the Overwatch 2 peeps. That's great too.
Yep.
Like, does my currency scroll over too? I mean, have we seen
that's the one thing that I think is in limbo. We don't really know. We don't know how they're gonna handle stuff with skins and stuff moving forward because they even seem like they want to move away from loot boxes. They've talked about changing the loot box model, which I'm very used to the Overwatch one, and the reason they want to change it, I think, is because it's the most reasonable loot box system I've ever seen in any game. Like granted, I have a lot of time put into that game. I have 1,000 something hours put in that game, like maybe 1,200 hours, 1,300 hours, and I have every cosmetic that you can get in the game outside of like some achievement unlockables and some gold guns for some heroes that I don't really play very much. But I have every skin that's ever been available outside of the Overwatch League ones because there's just way too many to. I'm not breaking the bank for that, but yeah, and so. I don't know. I've always felt Overwatch was extremely reasonable.
On that topic, I mean, you mentioned maybe no loot boxes. PC Games talked to Jeff Kaplan, last year, and they asked him about that. Like, hey, with skewing towards battle passes and paying for new content in live games, are there plans to change the monetization of Overwatch from loot boxes? Or is that something that it's locked in now? Jeff said, well, we have made a lot of changes to loot boxes and how they work over the years, so we're definitely open to change. Overwatch 2, in terms of business model, we're exploring different options that may move us away from loot boxes, but I think that will be more for Overwatch 2 than the core game receiving any changes. I would never rule anything out. I think battle passes are cool, putting monetization to the side. A battle pass is a fun engagement mechanism. If you look at a game like Diablo 3, they have what's called the season journey, which is in essence a battle pass. It's not monetized in any way. It's just a bunch of cool content. These are the things you should be doing in the game. If you do, we're going to reward you. I think that's an awesome system. You can bet I would bet, feel safe, Indy, betting a ton of money that there will be a paid season pass in Overwatch 2. I just don't see any way that game doesn't get one, right?
Probably. But here's the thing. There's a lot to figure out still because I wasn't even thinking about currency and loot boxes and stuff like that. Like crap that will either influence people or send them running if they like things the way they are. But I honestly, if there's going to be a story mode, I'm going to be in it just to experience that because that's something I've always wanted. Now I know that I haven't played Overwatch in a while, but wasn't there something in the current Overwatch that was kind of like objective based?
Yeah, they have every year. Yeah, every year they have the archives event that comes up. That's actually, I believe, the next event that's coming up. Should be in another month or two. That they do have story campaigns. They have 3 different ones. They didn't add one, I believe, last year. Or maybe it's 4, I don't remember. Instead, they added like different like modifiers to them to make them more challenging and stuff like that. So you could tell that they don't want to add a new story mode into Overwatch 1 because all of their focus is in Overwatch 2 right now, which I don't blame them. Yeah. But like adding those little modifier challenges that actually made them very unique. You had to think about things and go about them a different way. So I'm expecting a lot of like the hero modes and stuff like that, the repeatable missions to have some of those modifiers on it, think of it like maybe doing, a mythic in WoW where it's like, every enemy you kill drops a fire lava puddle on the ground or something like that. So you're like, maybe I don't want to be playing a lot of melee characters this time around.
Yeah, and
So
Jason says that he kind of envisions this maybe more like the way strikes are run in Destiny 2.
Destiny.
And I kind of see it the same way, because aren't we getting like hero leveling and talent trees? And I mean, this is becoming a full, like, let's put a little MMO in your hero shooter.
Yeah. Like I said, Avengers. It's the exact same thing Avengers does.
Oh, Lord.
My name's Mike Byrne. You can follow me right there. Magic Man 1. More importantly, stop saying that. You're going to freaking curse it. You're going to curse it. You're going to curse it.
I don't think the Avengers is as bad as people make it out to be. That's why. This is a little joke between me and Mike, but yeah.
You're going to curse it.
We were talking about it in the pre-show, but yeah.
You're going to curse it.
If you if
obviously,
you feel like this joke came out of the blue, you guys need to make sure to turn into our pre-shows.
Obviously, like, the talent stuff, by the way, is only going to be the hero quests, right? That's it's not going to be, you can't talent up into PvP with all these different talent points. That would just be way unbalanced.
Yeah, like, it's going to be...
That'd be kind of cool,
It would be cool. Just be unbalanced as shit.
Yeah, I like it.
Like, if you look at some of the ones that are in the trailer that we were running, or, like Tracer, for example, she's got one that the chain reaction, your pulse bomb causes secondary explosions on enemies that are damaging it. So, like, if you stick your pulse bomb onto something and there's 30 enemies around you in a PvE setting, obviously, it chains and it hits every single one of them, and they all take damage. If you did that in a PvP setting, you could wipe out an entire team with one pulse bomb. That would be ridiculous. Like, you can't do that. Like, that would the game would be broken beyond repair. So there's in my mind, there's no way to make this work in PvP. There's no way.
So here, let me ask you this then. Maybe you don't know. I don't know. For my own edification, and Indy, if you know, chime in. Since there's going to be 1 and 2 basically coexisting and able to interact with each other, 1 and 2. And 2 is going to bring new maps, right? Like, Overwatch 1 is done as far as heroes. We're not getting any more there.
No.
But Overwatch 2, we already have confirmed new maps at the very least. So let's set heroes aside for a second. We already have new maps in Toronto and Monte Carlo and Gothenburg and Rio and Rome and New York. And I would imagine, given the 4 years or so of Overwatch now, that Overwatch 2 is probably going to be a little higher fidelity, better graphics, better performance, maybe not leaps and bounds because it is that very cartoon-esque look. How is Overwatch 1 getting modified, or like the existing maps being changed or upgraded to the new Overwatch 2 models, even though you didn't buy Overwatch 2? Like, how is all of that working? Or do we know yet?
That is a good question. So we don't know how it's going to handle in Overwatch 1 itself. We don't know if... I don't believe Overwatch 1 people are going to get the new UI. I don't think they're going to get the new.
But they are going to see like changes in the maps, because I know they're doing like optimization passes on the existing maps.
Yeah. So, and I know a lot of the stuff that like we're going to get, they showed off at BlizzCon, right? They showed, especially like in the hero missions, the story missions, that like you may be doing like a payload escort, and then all of a sudden the payload just veers off in a direction that it doesn't normally go, and then opens a door that you didn't even know existed, and you go through a whole new section of the map. I think that's going to be limited to the new PvE sections. I don't think that's going to be part of the PvP. I wish it was stuff in the PvP going forward where you think you're doing this, and then all of a sudden you find out you're not, you're going somewhere else. But I think that would be really difficult to balance, to like have that shocking moment of, no, it's not going in this direction, because one team's going to know what, like the defending team is always going to know the direction the payload does. And if they don't know that, then it's going to be really hard to defend. Yeah. So it'd really only be a surprise for the PvE team. And at that point, they're at a disadvantage of not knowing the direction it's heading. And they, like they might be prepping to go down one path, and they're split up and then all of a sudden the payload goes somebody else. So I think that would be a disaster in PvP. I don't want to see them try it there. Maybe try it there.
In the new maps, what do you want to see? Like, if you could pick one location.
I'll never get
Sire Denathrius's bedroom.
No.
That, you know what? If they could find a way to wrap Nathria in there, like, absolutely. I just don't see it as the aesthetic for Overwatch. If I could pick any map, I wouldn't even pick a specific location. I would want something like kind of dark, foreboding, and haunted. But that's not the vibe of Overwatch. You're never gonna get that. So
what, like a haunted woods or a swamp,
yeah,
or
like something creepy, but like I said,
like graveyards. Let's do graveyards.
Yeah, exactly.
I could get behind that. I could definitely get behind that. I want a 100% flat frozen tundra, and there's nothing on it, but everybody has to wear white snow outfits. That's it.
Jesus.
So like that one map in GoldenEye.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is what
Do you
I
remember the winter the winter event? It was like a special thing where you like shot snowballs.
Yeah, May's snowball offensive.
That thing. That was annoying. Like I would hate Mike's map.
Man, I got behind yours and then you just shoot mine down like that. That's cold.
I mean, I just don't everything.
See
icy,
if you're at the
frosty,
inauguration.
And the same color, I won't be able to see anyone.
You ain't getting tickets to my inauguration, that's for sure.
Well,
see, for me, I think the one location that I want more than anything, and this is just me personally because I love this kind of stuff. I want Easter Island in some capacity, but it'd have to be like futuristic Easter Island, so they'd have to build some like weird structures or something on it to go with it. But like, I've always been fascinated with the giant heads of Easter Island. So
we are done with heroes for Overwatch, right? They confirmed that, didn't they? That we're not getting any more.
So they confirmed this back when Overwatch 2 was first announced. Now the fact that it's been delayed way past, I believe, their expectations, probably due to COVID. I don't know if that's going to change. There's rumors that maybe we might get one more.
We got what, 32 in there now?
Oh, I think we're up to like 36.
32, 36, 34. Jason's in chat. He can tell us how many. I don't know. I think it's like 32. We're all anxiously awaiting Jason's answer here.
Yeah, there's 32 playable, so that would be Hero 33.
Okay, so 32. Getting Sojourn. You had to look it up. He's correct. Okay, 32. Sojourn. First Canadian hero, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. First Canadian hero, eh? Awesome.
The Toronto map.
Oy. Sorry, I shot you.
Sorry.
You already have May in the game apologizing all the time. Sorry. I'm sorry. You know, like
Sojourn's like big on a big part of the story, though, right? Like,
yeah,
pretty big.
Yeah, they said that Sojourn's going to be huge, central to the
like
entire
reuniting
campaign,
the Overwatch and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite hero, Indy? Like when you play, I know you're like more casual with Overwatch, like I am, but you know,
Mercy,
you're a Mercy. Okay.
We have the same name, and we're both healers.
Who's yours, Burn?
Agent 76.
Of course, the Call of Duty shooter.
Because it plays like a regular shooter game character, so it was the easiest for me to pick up and not be bad playing with my kids. I enjoy May. I enjoy May.
Yeah.
But like if you I haven't played in so long that if we queued up right now for a match, I'd be Agent 76 for a few matches before I was like, all right, I got the controls again. Let me go take another character.
Yeah. May was my favorite for the longest time. She's still like, I'm still very partial to May. But Ashe, because I'm not a fantastic sniper, but she's like a mid-range sniper, so I'm pretty good with Ashe.
There's a new game mode. I don't know if you guys know this. It's gonna be a new game mode. It's called Poop.
Oh.
It's not what it was called 3 minutes ago in the show notes.
No.
But apparently its name has been changed to Poop. So breaking news, you heard it here first. The Tug of War game mode is now called Poop.
Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah, that's something that's going to be in Overwatch 1 as well.
What,
so
poop?
that the new game mode is yes. Yes, the new game mode.
I guarantee you a lot more people will be playing it.
No.
It's a show run by 8-year-olds. God damn it.
I mean, I didn't change it in the show notes.
I think there's a way to find out.
Oh yeah, it was 100% indie. It was 100% indie, and I don't need Google's records to tell me that was indie.
Yeah.
Google's record keeping.
Yes.
Oh, I guess I'm idle in WoW.
All right.
There.
Final word, Overwatch 2. What do you want from it, Indy? What are your expectations? Is it going to just blow Overwatch out of the water? Is it going to be great? Is it going to be disappointing? What do you want to see from it? Final word.
I'm excited for the new maps.
That's it. You don't care about anything else.
That's pretty much like I'm going to play the same heroes. I love my healers. But I'm excited for the new maps. That's pretty much it. I'm sorry. I'm still laughing about the new mode.
Yes.
Zista.
What am I excited for?
Yeah.
Everything. There's nothing about Overwatch 2 that I've gone and been like, I don't want participate in that. Like literally every single aspect of it has me excited, all the way from the dynamic weather effects that they said that they were adding, the collision effects that they're adding, like all the little minute stuff that just all added up all together. It feels like it's going to be an entirely different game, and that's what has me really excited. Little minor things like saying that Reinhardt is going to get some health back every time he puts his shield up.
Ooh.
Right? That's like little changes like that make it so when you're playing the game, you're forcing your team to like get into the habit of like, so you have the Reinhardt that maybe doesn't want to put his shield up to protect his team, but the team needs him to. But when he's low on health, if he puts his shield up and he knows he's gaining health back, he's going to put it up, which helps your team. Right. So like little incentives like that are basically forcing people to play their roles the way they should be played.
Well, Jason says in chat, I want to see more tanks and more supports. And I think by that, he just means the sheer numbers of being available and players playing those characters. But to that point, though, aren't tanks like they're getting pretty much overhauled? So instead of just like, protecting the group, they're now going to be more focused on getting in there face to face and just plowing through things brawler style than more a protection role, right? That's a big change in Overwatch 2, isn't it?
Yeah, they're reducing like the tank's knockback damage, which was one of the reasons why a lot of players stopped playing Overwatch to begin with, because you had added Brigitte and then you added Wrecking Ball very shortly after, which are two characters that knock you around the map, and you already had Lucio in the game. So like you would get into like the Ilios well map, and you put the shield up to block the Lucio boop, and then you have Brigitte breaking through the shield, smashing you, making you drop your shield, and then knocking you back down the hole. And it's like you're just getting knocked all over the map before you even know what happened. And it's like, it was really frustrating. So yeah. And I understand why a lot of tanks, especially tank mains, stopped playing the game because of things like that. And even when they went back and tried to nerf these things and fix them and balance them a little bit better, it was too late by that point. And this is the perfect time to do it, is going into a fresh game with a brand new coat of paint by throwing the number 2 at the end of it. You're going to attract more people rather than just doing like a big content update or even an expansion, so.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm more excited about Overwatch 2 than I ever was about Overwatch 1. If it's just a PvP game, very, very rarely are you going to get me hooked into that game. It has happened a couple of times, but not often. It didn't with Overwatch. I will be giving Overwatch 2 much more of a chance than I ever gave the original Overwatch because of a lot of those changes, particularly the PvE. And Indy, you and I can go Overwatch hero delve diving here. Let's slide over and do Lore or Lies. All right. Lore or Lies is, as always, brought to us by our resident lore master, Lil Missy. You can follow her right there on Twitter at LilMissy4205. Much thank you to her and all the other volunteers behind the scenes at Ready Check Radio, whether they're streamers, moderators, people helping me put show notes together, all that stuff. Tell your friends, help the channels grow. All these people volunteering their time for me and for you. I couldn't do it without them. And that includes our lore keeper. Last week, Lore or Lies, remember, we're going to give you 3 statements, one of which has a lie in it somewhere. You've got to tell us in the comments on ReadyCheckRadio.com or on YouTube which one has the lie and what the lie is. Last week, the assistance of Bonesmith Hairmere was asked for the blade forged by the Primus. If you shouted out very angrily at me that the blade was unfinished inside the stone mentioned for the second statement, Zista's statement, you are correct. After all, a blade's no good without a hilt. This week, Hairmere needs materials gathered as well as protection from the enchantment. The souls forged into the blade by Primus attack during the forging. The final guardian is vanquished, and the blade is now the Maw Walkers.
Now that the forging is complete, Margrave Cruxis wishes to see it. He tells the runes that are present on the rune blade and that they represent the 6 skills of the ideal Maldraxi soldier.
These 5 runes match those at the seat of the Primus. The Sanctum has been locked since the Primus went missing, but the rune blade may be the key, which is evident when it resonates with the seat and the rune on the door. I'm sorry. And the rune on the door lights up, but war is wrong. I'm sorry. They're messing with it while I'm reading it. You guys can't see this. I wish I could show you, but they're messing with it while I'm reading.
Oh my God, read your statement. It's the end of the show.
But war is rising. Poop shit, more poop.
Wow.
Don't talk like that on this show.
I just read what this was a show note from the host of the show.
Which one of those is the lie? Let us know in the comments below. My statement was also screwed up, but like a professional, I skipped over it because I didn't want to make my statement false by adding the word poop if my statement happened to not be the false one. Oh, shit. We'll be back next Tuesday for this show. Maybe. I don't know. Indy, until then, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me everywhere, Indy Garona. It should be down here somewhere. Twitter, Twitch, everything. Indy Garona is where you can find me. That's pretty much it.
Mr. Zista.
You can find me down below at It's Zista or on Twitch at Zista, XIZTA.
My name's Mike Byrne. You can follow me, Magic Man 1, but more importantly, follow the channel. Somebody will own it at some time soon. I'll find a new owner. Help them out. Follow, watch, comment. Later. So,
gentlemen, stick around.
No, we're still live. We're still live and we're still with the recording.
Oh God.
Chat, hang tight. We're gonna let Jason Winter bring the mood back up. Jason, what are you playing? What are you playing today?
What am I playing?
You wouldn't tell me before the show. You said you wanted it to be a surprise even to me what you were streaming.
I'm gonna be streaming Marvel's Avengers. No.
Oh. I would have been brilliantly timed if that actually had been what you were going to stream. It would have been the best timing you've ever had on a joke.
No.
See, the difference
Sadly,
between
no.
Jason and I is if I were in Jason's shoes during the show, I would have been like, can I get this bot and downloaded before the show is over? Can I get this bot and downloaded before the show is over? What are you playing, though?
No. I am going to be streaming The Bus.
The Bus?
Mm-hmm. And do you know what that is about?
No.
It's about driving a bus.
Wait, is this the old Penn and Teller game?
No.
Do you remember what was that called? There was a Penn and Teller had made a game. It was, or at least endorsed it a long time ago, and it just like the bus never stayed straight. It always veered to the right, so you were forced to play it. Somebody has got to know what I'm talking about here, right? I'm not out of my mind. This has like a cult following. It's an old game. Nobody knows what I'm talking. God.
Anyway, the game I'm going to be playing just released in early access, and it's a bus. You drive it around Berlin, and you pick up passengers, and you let them off. It's amazing.
So is it like Crazy Taxi?
No, you go like normal speeds. It's like Euro Truck Simulator, but just in one city, and you're like just people instead of like cargo.
Desert Bus. Thank you, Q.
Desert Bus. Oh yeah, I think I've heard
like
of
a
that
CD
now.
game.
Yeah.
Desert Bus, and then Penn and Teller have one called Smoke and Mirrors. It's technically unreleased, but yeah. Desert Bus.
But no, I'm just playing The Bus.
The Bus. All right.
The
Well,
Bus.
chat, hang tight. After the show here, we'll go dark for about 30 seconds. We'll relabel everything. I hope there's a Twitch tag for this one.
There is. I've seen it.
Okay, thank you. And Jason Winter will be live now, truly, for real. No jokes aside. I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me there at Magic Man 1, but make sure you're following at RC Radio so we can tweet at you every time we go live with one of our 3 podcasts or any one of our streamers. Until next week, stay safe, and we'll see you on the servers.